we want to do in this video is essentially, obviously, fix his black eye. And we want to tone down the amount of red in his face. So we want to go from this picture to this. So how do we do that? First thing we want to do is get a duplicate of his eye. We're going to use this eye right here to replace his black eye. So we're going to use our lasso tool and carefully get a selection here of his eye. Command copy, command V to paste, and it pasted on a new layer. And now we want to switch it to the opposite direction, so we're going to right click, command T to edit transform, right click on it, and we want to flip it not vertically but horizontally towards the other side here. And kind of want to position it right. Maybe about right there. And then we want to get a selection of this eye. Easiest way to get a selection of what we have here is to command click that layer. And we need to contract our selection. So we're going to go up to select, modify, and contract it by about 5 pixels. That should be good enough. And now we want to go back to our original picture and delete this part of the eye that we have selected. So with it still selected, just hit delete. And you can kind of tell there in the picture it deleted that. If I hide that, you can see we've deleted that. Command D to deselect. And now what we want to tell Photoshop is to apply these two layers and to blend them seamlessly. So we want to select layer 2, the eye that we copied and reflected horizontally. Hold shift to select the first layer, the black eye, the original picture. And we're going to go to edit, because we're doing an edit, and we want to do auto blend layers right here. And you want to make sure it's panorama, and then just click OK. And Photoshop blends these two layers. And if it doesn't quite look right, you can always try a different approach here. Maybe what we need to do is to actually select even his eyebrow. Let's see if that gives us a better effect. A lot of this is trial and error. You never know. Alright, so now we'll bring this over. Command T, right click, flip horizontally, position it about where we want it. So about right there is good. Command T, we're going to click that layer again, select. We're going to contract that selection. We need to modify it. Do 5 pixels, that should be good. Delete it from our original. Select both layers. Let's see if this gives us a better effect. Auto blend layers. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that was a much better effect. We wanted to do the eyebrow as well. So all we need to do is just kind of blend these two eyebrows in together. And that's pretty easy, right? So we're going to get our stamp tool, clone stamp tool, or maybe even better, we can try our healing brush tool. Make the brush smaller with our left bracket, select the area that we want to copy here, paint it in. You know, before we do that, let's just go ahead and hit Shift, Alt Option, Command E to create a composite of what we have going on here, and try that again. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So far, so good. Now we need to fix this part and some of these other parts that are obviously red. And we're going to try the patch tool here for this large red part. Select your patch tool, make sure source is selected. draw over this large red part, and then drag it over to a better part and let go. So that's good. We'll do that here in a few more areas, like so. See how it works on his lip here. Maybe right here. Right here. We'll drag this into his beard. See how well that looks. Might want to go in here with our healing brush tool and add a little bit more in the hair in here so it doesn't look weird or anything. Okay. There we go. Let's go back to our patch tool. Get some of this part of his head that's red, drag it down. Maybe a little here. Okay, now let's work on some of the red that's in his face. And in order to do that, we want to create a hue and saturation adjustment layer. And what we want to do is tell Photoshop that we want to target only the reds here. So currently up here we have the master, which is all of the colors. We want to click on this drop down menu and choose only the reds. And we want to see with what we're working here. So just for the moment, drag this slider to the right to a green, make it a little bit more brighter. And we're going to come down here, right here to this slider. And this is just about targeting, seeing what we're going to target as we make an adjustment. So take this slider and move it until we see that kind of bright yellow is affecting. So over here, right, it's kind of affecting everything. We want to adjust it to where it's affecting just a lot of the portions on his face that was a little bit too red. So right about here is pretty good. So now we want to make that adjustment. We've targeted it. We've seen what we're targeting because we made it yellow and kind of increased the saturation to make it a brighter yellow. Now we want to bring everything back to 0, our hue and our saturation. So select that right there, 0. Select this, 0. And so here, right, we've moved this. We're targeting only a specific area of the reds in his face because we moved this. So now if we take our hue slider, we move it to the right a little bit, you can see that red, right, here's to the left, that red is going away. And we can even use our lightness slider to increase that lightness a little bit more. And that's pretty good. I'm going to hit X there. And so here is the before and the after with the removal of the reds. And that's pretty good. That is what we want to do for this checkpoint.